Hello Libras, it is AD with kayxztarot, and I'm going to be doing your December 2018 readings. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I'm so sorry that you guys were the last one, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled this time. But, you know, we'll work on that for next time. I'm trying not to make people last too many times in a row. Right. Anyways, but thank you guys. Shout out to you guys. Welcome back. If you're old, welcome, welcome. If you're new, we're so happy to have you here. A couple quick announcements. I'm actually going to be doing a $15 6-card spread special for the month of December for the holiday season. So I hope that you guys embark and partake, especially if you want to see what energies you're working with, you know, into next year, or just get some clarity to close out some chapters and cycles for this year, you know. So hop on and take advantage. All the information and how to get more information for that is going to be in the description box below. I also did a really cool, awesome interview with the Peace Dealer. He does a series called Peace Talks, where he talks to astrologers, tarot readers, and just genuinely spiritual people. And, you know, we banter back and forth. It's kind of like a podcast. So if you're interested in that, with me doing it, that is also in the description box below. But feel free to check it out. It's a really awesome channel, really great things that he's doing, all right? So without any further ado, Libra, let's get into your reading. Please be mindful that, you know, this is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. But feel free to gaze YouTube and find someone who is more on your vibration and frequency, all right, Libras? Let's get into it. Some of you guys are walking away from a situation and you're beginning something new, all right, which is really awesome, Libras. But it might have been hard to leave this situation, but do know that something new is coming in, especially if you feel like you're in a stagnant place right now. You won't stay there, okay? And this is what I was talking about earlier. So the 6 of Swords flew out again, you know, and I made note of that earlier, and it was just what I was saying. It's just like some of you guys are leaving a situation. Some of you guys are leaving behind old relationships, old friends, even old careers, all right, to go to better pastures, to go to, you know, more forgiving seas, all right? And so don't be afraid to leave, but there's a sorrow here. I don't think that you guys are actively trying to leave. I think that you might have invested, you know, some things here. Some of you guys might be moving, leaving a home, and some of you guys just might be traveling, all right? But there's a sense of sorrow and a sense of loss here, but you're going and starting a new chapter, Libra. So just be mindful that this is going to bring in new opportunities once you leave this behind, okay? So at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Cups. Could be connecting with a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. Or just, you know, somebody who's very emotional and creative. But there does seem to be an offer that is coming in about love or romance, okay? And sometimes this can be just an apology or just an emotionally filled conversation. But there is a message of somebody trying to connect with you, or you are sending this message out, right? Remember, the energies can always go vice versa. But there's just a really loving or a loving easiness with the Knight of Cups being your underlying energy, right? So the foundation of this entire reading is going to be kind of like an emotional basis. So some of you guys might be kind of uncomfortable with that, being an air sign. Not saying that air signs are incapable of love. You guys just handle your emotions differently than, say, a water sign like myself. But there definitely is some emotional things that are kind of like the undercurrent of the month of December, okay? So here we have the 5 of Wands as your heart of the reading. We have Justice. This is your energy as the foundation of this reading. Then we have the Devil, Libra. So some of you guys are really leaving some things behind. Um, absolutely. The Devil as your current feeling, and then we have the Knight of Swords as the most likely outcome. That's your energy. And then we have the Eight of Wands. All right. So right off the rip, whatever's happening with the Eight of Wands being your card of advice, this is the time for you, Libra, to take action. You guys are in needing to take action. You guys are needing to speak up and communicate. All right. There is not a doormat effect. I can't express this enough, especially with this Devil character here and this Justice card here. There's some action that needs to be taken. I don't know if that's word. I don't know. Again, this is traveling. Some of you guys are moving. Some of you guys are literally relocating. Okay. And if you are sorrowful about that, understand that there are new opportunities on your horizon. Okay. So yeah, the heart of this reading is the Five of Swords, all right? So this is my doesn't know how to play well nicely with other card. Quite the title. But this is, you know, when you see the Five of Swords, this could be a battle of wits or just somebody who just has to win and has to be right at all costs to the point where they've isolated themselves from their friends, okay? So you could be this person or you could be somebody in the back, but it seems like there has been a conflict with words and with perceptions. There's kind of been a conflict of egos, and if I'm remembering in the past, you know, you guys have kind of stepped up and talked up to people who have kind of affected you in the past or thought, you know, didn't know who they were messing with in the past. Well, it seems like they know now, right? And so now you're kind of in this state where you're like, man, did I say the right thing? Or, I don't know if that was the right way to go about it. Maybe I should have held my tongue or all that stuff. Okay, where you are now, there's movement that needs to be happening. There are definitely things that had to be left behind. So even though it might be comfortable now and you're like, man, I really regret that, you know, for some of you guys, I don't think that that's necessarily something to regret, but there is a heart of this reading where there has been words that have been exchanged between different people. And if it hasn't been words, definitely thoughts. There's been changes in thoughts, but 5 represents instability. Okay. This is not an instability because it's changing. It's the structures are changing. Things that, you know, you felt were there before are now being shifted into a new direction, into something else. All right. So when you see the 5 of Swords being the heart of this reading, this could be discussions that you guys had, with other people, but it does seem, again, with the Knight of Cups being the underlying energy, for some of you guys, there's an apology that is coming in, or there's an apology that you are going to be giving out, because there's just been some harsh words, alright? But the thing about it is, and this is what I was saying earlier, which is like, I wouldn't necessarily cry over spilled milk about it, because justice is the foundation of this reading. And so with justice being here, alright, always pay close attention to your horoscopes in this time, you know, as above, so below. Keep in mind that Mercury is in fact in retrograde, and it does rule your sister sign of Gemini. So you guys could definitely be feeling that, you know. Pay attention with travel, technology, and all that other stuff. If you guys are in fact traveling, hopefully it's after the 12th, because there could be, just be aware that there could be things that, you know, come up. But with justice, you know, there was a need for whatever transpired, whatever happened, to bring balance back. So now it feels like some of you guys, as you're leaving these situations, you might be in a place where you'll be able to restore balance, okay? Some of you guys might be dealing with legal cases, money cases is kind of what I'm getting, or just like some of you guys might have gotten in trouble with the law, or somebody, you know, who's closest to you has gotten in trouble with the law, or just court in general, okay? And so that's your energy as like the foundation of this reading. So the past, you know, so it was balanced, but it feels like it has gone out of instability. But I think that you're going to be back stable again, moving back into 2019. But look at this Devil character here. Some of you guys are holding on to toxic thoughts, toxic feelings, toxic people, toxic relationships, right? And you feel chained and burdened by them, right? But some of you guys are trying to cut that off. You know, look, there's turning the backs of the situation. People are turning their backs on situations, and you know, this night on my end, it's facing him. So some of you guys are rushing into like some toxic relationships, and it could be to cut it out, because you know, the Knight of Swords is ready for battle and ready for war, and there is action that needs to be taken. But some of you guys are fighting some demons, negativity. I'm imagining negative thoughts, and negative people is what I'm getting. But look, you know, you always have to point out with the Devil card is these two are chained to one another. They are not chained to him. You are bound by nothing. All right. If your ego is gotten out of hand and it's caught and it's, you know, gotten you to a point where you feel isolated, then check it. You're not bound to being right. You're not bound by anything, Libra. You can always manifest what it is that you want. You know, you can change your power, you can change your path at any time. You have a complete control to do that. That is the beauty of free will. But some of you guys are just dealing with a Capricorn, and it can be like a very stable, not stable, a very stubborn type relationship, very stubborn energy. It can be your energy. Some of you guys are caught up in materialism and materialistic things when you see the Devil card. But again, the most likely outcome is the Knight of Swords. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of communication that is coming in, and I think it's heartfelt communication that is coming in. Some of you guys are finally being honest with yourself and being honest with those around you, all right? And you're really speaking your truth from an emotional space. With this Knight of Cups being the underlying energy paired with this Knight of Swords. So this is messages, this is exchanging, this is information, okay? Some of you guys are researching and finding new information, but for some of you guys, there's just been a situation where there's just been some toxic energy that's been surrounding a situation, and some of you guys are really having to take action and leave it behind. For some of you guys, this shit cuts so deep, you actually have to relocate. Maybe with this Justice card being here, there could be a restraining order for some of you guys. Maybe some of you guys have been stalked in the past, or just something like that, where there's just been really nasty exchanges. Libra is what I'm getting. So you guys have maybe had to take it to court. But definitely take action. Definitely keep moving with this situation, with this Devil character. There is a chain here. You are being held back. You do feel as if you're being held back by something. But with this card of advice being take action, and then we have the Six of Swords fly, there's definitely leaving it behind. There's definitely movement. We have two knights. Knights travel. Okay. Knights definitely travel. So if you're not in a position to travel, right, if you're not in a position to leave and just kind of drop everything, then it can be like a mental transition. It can be like mentally, physically, spiritually, not physically, but spiritually channeling new energies and taking active steps down a different path, okay? Because some of you guys are just going to have to put your sword down, turn your back on the situation, and walk away. There's really nothing that you can do, especially if you're trying to seek balance within yourself. So just be mindful of that, all right? But let's get into your oracles. Excuse me. Actually, before we do that, I want to see, let's clarify why this Five of Swords is here. Oops. Oh, wow. So a lot of sword energy. We have the Two of Swords fly out and the Four of Swords. Okay, so some of you guys were in a situation, again, where you refuse to see the paths. And there's a choice to be blindfolded and chained here. All right? This person is blinded by her own accord, okay? Because she doesn't want to take a step. She doesn't want to move. All right? But in order to get out of this situation there, it's asking you to combine heart and mind in order to know how to move forward. So it's a mix of logic and intuition, and maybe that's why the Knight of Cups is here with the Knight of Swords. It's a mix of logic and intuition that you guys are having to embark on, and in order to get in touch with that side of yourself, Libra, so how you move forward and how you restore this balance that you so seek, you're going to have to withdraw and go within. A lot of you guys are just walking away from a situation. I can't express that enough. You guys, some of you guys are taking time for yourself. You were in a situation where it just didn't really go the way that you wanted. People didn't treat you. People didn't value you the way that you thought that they would. And so you ended up kind of getting addicted to the situation, if that makes sense. Like there was a mutual addiction, kind of codependency, maybe where somebody was draining. It was a parasitic relationship, and this could be in work too. This is not exclusive to love by any means. But where you were undervalued, but this person needed you. It's kind of like that Pinky and the Brain syndrome, where Pinky was actually the smart one, but Brain made him feel dumb all the time. And so I'm kind of getting that energy. And now it finally dawned on you, Libra, that you are not dumb. You're not, in fact, dumb. You've been lied to, but you're dealing with Stockholm Syndrome in a sense where you're just like, well, now what do I do? You know, now I know that I'm the genius in the group. You know, what do I do with that? In order to receive those answers, you're going to have to take off these blindfolds, and you're going to have to deal, right? After you come out, you know, handle this retrograde. You buy some time with this retrograde by chilling and minding your own business. You know, as Mercury stays in Gatorade, you got to make sure that you are focusing on yourself. This is a time for healing, all right? But as soon as it comes out, you are being beckoned to take action, Libra, because this is not you're currently in a toxic situation, but I do see you having the ability to get out of it. Yeah, look at this at the bottom of this. Some of you guys are really bothered by this situation, and you know, with this Nine of Swords and the Moon here, there's been a subconscious emotional turmoil where you guys have just really been locked into kind of like this deadbolt of a situation, and it can have to do with the connection. Some of you guys found out that there was deception in the connection. You know, there was deception and lies in the connection. Could have easily been a third-party situation. And again, if this has to do with work, this could be co-workers were stealing your work. Your boss was taking advantage of you and not giving you the proper credit that you deserve. This is, you know, worth anything, you know. But there was definitely some friction. But I do see you guys moving into a Nine of Pentacles moment where you guys start to focus on yourself and your own abundance. That is kind of what's happening. And it was sudden. There was sudden upheaval, right? Because here we have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, again, followed by the Tower. So there definitely is some clarity that is coming in because the structures that you've known are being stripped. You know, if you don't act, the universe is saying you need to act now before the universe takes up the case on your behalf. And then you really are going to be put in a situation where you're out of control. If you think that you're worried now, Libra, and you feel like you're out of balance and you feel like you're out of whack, don't wait to make this move. Don't wait to make this communication. Don't wait to get ahead of the situation, especially if you feel in your gut something's happening. Don't just hope and pray that it's going to get better. You have to be an active part in that, or the universe is going to do it for you, and that's always way more dramatic than what it really could have been, okay? So be mindful of that, especially if you're dealing with this devil-like character, okay? You want to get ahead of the problem and not be behind it, okay? It's kind of what I'm getting. Sorry, I was just like, I was like, I want to get a little bit more details about what's happening. But it just seems like deception, right? But it's really affecting you guys. You guys are really anxiety ridden right now. It's kind of what I'm getting. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of water energy. You guys are really dealing with emotional, which is why the Knight of Cups is the underlying energy. Let's not forget. All right, so we have Pisces energy here, and this is what I'm talking about: intuition, following your intuition, your spiritual guidance. All right, Pisces can have a habit. I'm a Pisces. All right, Pisces can have a habit of getting stuck in la la land. This is not something that you want to do. This is not where you want to be. You want to be in a place where you can make choices, where you can be in control of the situation. Okay. But in order to do that, Pisces are great at following their gut, following their intuition, listening to their soul, listening to their spirit, getting in touch with themselves so they know how to move forward, okay? There's kind of a psychic thing that happens with Pisces. And so when I see this pop up, this could be something that you knew was coming and you just decided not to act on it, or you don't know how to act on it, okay? But there are some things that are hidden that are going to be coming to light. The thing about the Pisces and the Moon and just water signs in general is they carry this mystery, okay, with them. And it's kind of hidden. Some people say they're sneaky. Some people say that they, are they can't interpret them. They're hard to read. So it seems like you're going through this phase right now where, like, you're so internal with this Nine of Swords energy, and you're so trying to figure out what happened in that Five of Swords energy that you're having to take some time to retreat, all right? Especially with the Moon card being here. You know, some of you guys, this could have to do with your mother, because it's a really maternal energy. There's very feminine energy here, so be mindful of that also. So with the Moon card here, some of you guys are just retreating into yourself with that Four of Swords like we saw. But there's, again, an intuitiveness that happens with these two cards. So you guys are probably in a more psychic-like state and you're confusing it for anxiety. But really what's happening is like you're interpreting and you're noticing things that you hadn't noticed before, and you're interpreting it a little bit differently than you would have without your logical mind. You're here now, okay? So just be mindful that this is a powerful change in exchange, but you just have to make sure that you are, I can't stress enough that you have to be active in this transition, or else it's really going to come up under you, all right? It's really going to, like, sweep you off of your feet, Libra. So, and who wants to do that, right? Who wants to be swept off of their feet and not in a romantic term? because it is time for you to be put in a different situation, and universe wants you to be in a more balanced state. But as long as this devil character and this devil energy is around, you won't be able to do that. And so since it is time for you to walk in a new light, you know, if you don't do it for yourself, then it'll be done for you, right? All right, so here we kind of have, you know, hold on, let me shuffle again. This is bad, but it says a new romantic cycle begins, and that is your energy. The only reason why I'm reshuffling it and dropping it, all of them, and it reflopped, and it reflipped out. I just had that in the last reading, and I didn't want to make sure that it was my poor shuffling because these cards could sometimes be a little bit more difficult to shuffle. Alright, let's see. We had a few cards fly out. Ooh, I like all of them that flew out. So we're going to take a new romantic cycle begins. You guys could be connecting with an Aquarius because they just had this, all right? And it kind of flew out the tail end too, where like the reading really had nothing to do with love per se. But this one could easily do with love if this was somebody that you were romantically involved with. But like I said, you're walking away towards a situation, so of course a new romantic cycle would begin, whether you're a part of it or not. But I'm telling you, Libras, you want to be a part of it. You really, really do. The universe works in a very mysterious way, and so really listen to that inner self. Some of you guys could be connecting with a Pisces or a Cancer or just a water sign in general, or somebody who's very intuitive with their emotions, somebody who's very open with how they love. Especially when you've been with somebody, if this was a past toxic relationship, you're really going to meet kind of like the opposite of that is what I'm imagining. Once you break away from this, you learn what you don't want from this past relationship, okay? So a new romantic cycle begins, all right? And then we have hold your vision. Hold your vision. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier, is like there is a seeking of balance that you definitely want to get to, Libra. And even though this is your 5 of Swords, these people just couldn't be with you. So you had to remove yourself from the situation, but just know that whatever it is that you want, keep fighting for that. Keep aiming for that. Keep striving for that. And like the universe will help you out in finding that, okay? So be mindful of this. Hold your vision. Do not relinquish it. Do not lose faith. Do not lose hope in yourself. Just because you're in a very shitty situation now, you're going to come and morph into a very beautiful, strong person. This was just a part of your journey, okay? So hold true to that. You're still on track. You're still on the path. But this is a moment where you're going to want to take action, okay? And then look, nothing is yet set in stone. So things are constantly changing. That is the mutable moon. So there's changes that are happening. So even if you feel like you know how this is going to end, you really, really don't. None of us know how it's going to end other than our deaths. And I know it sounds really morbid, but it's just the truth, you know. Don't get caught up in your fantasy of how things should have happened. Hold your vision, hold that end goal, but don't be attached to the journey. Don't be attached where I was supposed to do this, and then I was going to get that. No. It might be I did that, then this, then I did that again, and then I ended up doing this. So hold true to that end goal, but don't be so attached to the journey, okay? Because that's the fun part, and you're not going to be able to predict how you get there, right? If I predicted that I would be doing exactly this right now, almost, 3 months ago, I would have, thrown up. I'd be like, no, that's not the truth. But, look, surrender to the divine. Surrender it, especially if this tower moment happens. Listen to your guides and to your spirit, because they are definitely in contact with you. I've seen too much water here for them not to have been in contact with you. Some of you guys are not paying attention to signs. You're not paying attention to numbers, animals, dreams. But the universe is helping you. They want to see you on this path. So it's time to really get in touch with your more spiritual side. If you're on this channel, you're already doing great. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already, you're already seeking those answers and confirmation. But sometimes it needs to come from within, okay? And it seems like the universe has been working overtime to get you to that conclusion that it's time to move on, or like it's time to you know, lay down your burdens and kind of embark on a new journey, right? And then we have take time and breathe out. Goes directly with that Four of Swords energy, okay? Just, especially if you're coming out of this situation, don't make it so much bigger in your head. Because it is crazy, but it's not crazy enough to get out of. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it is really shitty. It is really toxic. You are kind of bound to this situation, but it's still not as bad as you think it is. And once you, like, relax and understand that, then you'll feel more power. You'll definitely feel more power as you move forward, okay? Ooh. That's just a complete theme for December. Willpower just flew out. And I mean, it ties in very beautifully with taking action, and, you know, believing in yourself that you're strong enough to do it. You know, Libras can sometimes have a habit of feeling like, these cards are harder for me to shuffle. Sorry. Libras can have a habit of feeling like they need help, you know, because they are 6, they constantly need balance, so sometimes they feel like they don't have the balance within themselves. I feel like that's the lesson that has been learned and has been challenged at this point in time. Sorry. Look at this. Alright, so we had joy fly out, alright? And so that is exactly what you're moving towards. And again, with willpower, you are an active ingredient in your own happiness. You're not going to get it from somebody else, but it seems like you are moving into joy. And we have romance fly out. So some of you guys are really going to be meeting somebody who's evenly yoked to you, especially after you come out of the situation. Because from this, and Pisces kind of had a similar reading, so I'm happy that their energy popped up. So you might even want to check that reading out just for the messages. It's like, as far as like they finally gotten to a point where they can draw their own boundaries. They now have breaking, you know, they now have deal breakers, right? They understand what makes them happy. They understand their love language. They understand what they need in order to feel, you know, safe and comfortable. So as you're moving into this new cycle, you have to close this one out. And this one is coming to a close, whether you're a part of it or not, Libra, okay? This is coming to a close, and it is going to put you in a new cycle, especially when it has to do with romance and just partnerships and friendships and how you deal with other people. So once you let this toxic energy go, there are going to be new things that are brought in for you, and you've honestly earned it and deserved it, you know? Because we have liberation here, where there's freedom. Freedom. Some of you guys, this could honestly be a divorce. Some of you guys are divorcing somebody, and you're finally able to date that person that you felt bad about dating because you were technically still married. But some of you guys are going to be entering into like some new relationships, and you are finally getting out of other ones with liberation, with this freedom. But most of you guys are just feeling freedom from this devil character, and it could just be because you pack up your shit and you fucking leave. For some of you guys, that is just the truth. And then finally, we had integrity. All right. What a beautiful reading, because that's you right there with the scales. Again, so there's a lot of justice. That's why I'm thinking some of this is going to be legal for some of you guys. But for other of you guys, it's just coming back into balance and not losing yourself, finding yourself again within the kind of the ruckus that has happened. And you guys are getting back to yourselves, which is absolutely beautiful. There is freedom in that. So some of you guys are really going to be dealing with your emotions in a way that you haven't in a very long time. So be mindful of that, because emotions can be quite a scary thing, particularly for air signs. Not gonna lie, earth signs, they can be kind of too, but air signs kind of struggle a little bit more when it comes to being in tune with themselves, emotionally. So just be aware of that, but in doing that, you will be finding your peace. So a lot of you guys are going to be leaving some old shit behind, some old habits, some old friends, some old people, some old relationships, but you will be finding balance within yourself, and that is a very beautiful thing, Libra, okay? So I will be seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, peace!